Welcome back to Your Mouth Matters. Today we're shedding light, literally, on one of the most overlooked influences on your health, blue light. I'm your host, Dr. Rebecca Taylor, and I'm joined today by Sam Nana, product expert at Block Blue Light, a company leading the way in circadian-friendly lighting, screen filters, and blue light blocking glasses that actually work. Block Blue Light was founded in 2016 by Daniel Evett after his personal struggle with chronic insomnia and migraines. When conventional treatments and cheap blue blocker glasses failed to help, Dan began researching the impact of artificial light on sleep and health. He started developing his own solutions out of his home, solutions that have since grown into a globally trusted brand grounded in real science. Today, Sam and I dive into how blue light affects your sleep, hormones, energy, and overall health, and why kids, in particular, are even more vulnerable. We also talk about why not all blue blocker glasses are created equal, and how to choose products that truly support your circadian rhythm. If you want better sleep, sharper focus, and a healthier home environment for your whole family, this is an episode you won't want to miss. Let's get into it. All right, well, I'm excited to introduce you guys to Sam. Sam is here with us. He works with Block Blue Light, and I'm excited about today because this is a topic that I know some about, but I'm excited to learn more about. And it's also something that I've started incorporating into my daily with myself, with my family, with my toddler even, and have been seeing really amazing results. So anyways, Sam, thank you and welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Rebecca, and thanks for having me on board. It's really, really awesome to be part of it and to be able to speak to you sort of this topic, because in this sort of day and age, it's definitely a growing conversation. So yeah, thanks for having me on the pod.
Yeah, I feel like so many people have heard about blue light being bad, or they've heard about that kind of stuff, and maybe they've even seen different glasses online or social media, whatever, but it seems like there's a lot of confusion about kind of what the technology is, what it does, and it sounds like there's really a difference in the quality of the technology. So I'm excited to kind of go into more detail with you. But before we really dive into the detail, can you talk to us a little bit about Block Blue Light, the company, the founder, who you guys are, and then we can kind of dive in a little bit more.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. So like you mentioned, so Block Blue Light is the company I work for. It was started by our founder, Dan. So Dan actually, the company was born out of a personal struggle of his own. So his background, he was actually working in IT, and so he was heavily computer-based, in front of screens 8 hours a day under heavy fluorescent lighting in the office. And he really struggled with chronic insomnia, migraines, things like that. And so he sort of just thought how can I sort of fix this? There must be sort of remedies out there, because like you said, everyone's sort of heard of the, blue light can be bad for your eyes, late at night, and screens if you're staring at them all day, all that kind of carry on. So he sort of looked into different things, sort of sleeping pills, natural remedies, herbs, different breathing techniques, even visiting various doctors and things like that. But he sort of still found himself some things he didn't write off everything. Some things maybe sort of he felt like it was working, but nothing actually was giving him that sort of confidence that it was working and helping him. So he actually started doing his own research into sort of how what was causing this, and that's when he made that deeper connection between blue light and specific blue light and your circadian rhythm. And so that's the first time dropping that term in there, when we can speak about that a bit more, but that will become quite important, the circadian rhythm. And basically, so after a bit more research into it, like you said, there's so many different blue light glasses out there. And then there were some companies already selling them at the time. But he sort of noticed that, and after his research, he linked it that a lot of the companies out there were more focused on fashion and style rather than the actual science behind the blue light blocking technology. And it was kind of, at the time, it was oh, check out these glasses, and they have this cool blue light blocking feature. It wasn't really the main part of it. And so that's basically how the company was born. And it started from his home. When I first started working for the company, it was based out of his house, shipping orders out of his garage and things like that. And now it's just blown up into this sort of massive worldwide company, which has been awesome. But yeah, like I said, he tried various different things. He even purchased a pair of like cheap glasses himself and like found that they didn't work. And he was like, well, like, why are they not working? Which is what led him sort of to do that more research into like the specific blue light wavelengths that need to be blocked, which again, we can get into the specifics a bit more. But basically, yeah, how I said, like, he's noticed that a lot of them at the time when they first started with focused on like sort of style and appearance rather than like science and like research-based products. And so, yeah, he like just thought, hey, I'm going to go into this a bit more and actually like produce like sort of science, heavily science and heavily researched like lenses, and hopefully like, you know, that will actually fix the issues for people. And so, yeah, that's basically sort of how it was born. Initially started with like glasses, and then it sort of evolved into sort of lighting as well, because we have like our devices, screens, lights that we use in our house that like emit blue light as well. So yeah, the lighting part of it was born as well. And so we have like blue light free lighting, and it's sort of just gone on the up and up from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, okay, I want to talk about circadian rhythm because you mentioned that word. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about a lot of circadian rhythm stuff, right? It's like kind of all based around that. Mm-hmm. So circadian rhythm, as far as how I explain it to people, is it's just kind of like our own body's clock, right? Mm-hmm. And
100%, yeah.
It's our own clock. It's in our bodies. And this is why, like, if you fly to, you know, Europe from the United States, it's going to be hard for you to sleep when it's nighttime there and daytime, because our bodies are on this basically natural clock. And what's interesting about that is that a lot of that clock is actually stimulated by the different lights that are interact with our eyes, right? And you probably know way more about this than I do. So why don't you go ahead and add your expertise here, Sam?
Yeah, no worries. So like you said, our circadian rhythm essentially is like our body's like biological clock, right? So it's like supports in like our regular, like our sleep and our wake cycles, and it's heavily influenced by like the light that we're exposed to. So like back in the day, I guess when the first cavemen were around and that, you know, there was no like technology or lighting or anything like that. So they were just sort of based, I guess they had a really good circadian rhythm because it was just based on natural lighting from day to night. But as obviously technology has come on and things like that, you know, people are working later or need to work later, or people are working night shifts, like, in, you know, avoiding screens is kind of almost impossible in this day and age, which, yeah, and it has a massive effect on like our body's clock in terms of like when we're getting rest, when we're like sort of cycling through, the different sleep and wake cycles. So it essentially is like sort of the core of like our body's health as well in some respects. And yeah, it can be heavily influenced by like different wavelengths of light that we're exposed to. So yeah, even just a small amount of like, even if it was dim blue light in the evening, can have like quite a big impact like on your body's like circadian rhythm. And your melatonin
production, right? Because my understanding, my understanding is that when we wake up, you know, we see sunlight, we should be waking up with the sun. That stimulates our body to wake up. It makes our cortisol is higher in the mornings, and it helps us get out of bed and go. And then at nighttime, when the sun is setting, we have a lot of that red light, we have a lot of that orange light, and that really gets our melatonin producing, right? Our pineal gland is producing melatonin, our gut is producing melatonin, and then that allows us then to go to sleep. And so we have that. It's like literally the light is affecting our hormones.
Essentially, yeah, that's right? Correct. And like the blue light will disrupt your circadian rhythm, and like, will stop that, or like it will suppress that melatonin release like quite heavily. And then, so that leads to like disrupted like sleep, which can again have like flow on effects to like other things, right? Insomnia, daytime fatigue, migraines, headaches, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it has like, if we don't get that like in a really good balance, or if you don't get in a really good routine, you can find yourself like sort of struggling just throughout the week by like just not really getting good sleep. So yeah,
it's pretty amazing. I mean, I always feel like our bodies are just so smart, and so many things that we do to alter, or we make things for convenience, or we make things, you know, better, like technology makes things, you know, quote unquote better, but the farther that we get away from our just like natural way of living, whether it's our diet or whether it's the light, you know, it just seems like we end up getting a little bit more messed up because we're not going with our body, you know?
100%. And I guess it's just about being, because like I was saying, like in the day and age we are with technology just constantly growing, like we can't really avoid it, and we almost do ourselves like not harm, but like if we're avoiding technology completely, like we're sort of not falling behind, like, but depending on what you're doing with your job or things like that, you can need technology
It's
to
almost
operate.
impossible.
It's just the way
we're
it
not
is,
living.
right?
Yeah, we're not living off the grid. It's for sure.
Excuse me, but it's just about being a bit like how can we be a bit more smarter with the technology we're using, and like identifying like harmful blue light in the technology, and like how can we sort of negate that, which links all back to our natural like circadian rhythm like we were talking about. So yeah,
no, that's awesome. I think that I look at CT scans all day long because I'm a dentist. And it's really been interesting because we're seeing the pineal gland calcified on most scans. I mean, I would say it's abnormal, but it really has become very common to see that. Mm-hmm. And even radiologists will use the calcified pineal gland as a landmark to measure other things because it's so common. And if you deep dive into pineal gland, and I promise I'm going to do a podcast on pineal gland calcification soon. But if you dive into that, one of the first things that they say with the pineal gland is that you need to cut out the blue light, and we need to get the circadian rhythm back on track, and we need to really work on sleep hygiene because the pineal gland makes your melatonin. So if you're having a bunch of blue light coming in when you should be having the orange and the red light from, basically a sunset, mimicking a sunset, you're not going to be producing that melatonin, and that actually impacts the pineal gland. So it's very fascinating. And like I said, I'm a dentist, so I don't know a ton about the pineal gland, but as we are looking at these x-rays, you're kind of like, wow, what's going on here? This is really different. So
yeah.
And you see it in kids, even in kids, even in 15, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, I see issues with the pineal gland. So I think it's a problem, I think it's a problem, and we may not even realize how big of a problem it is.
100%. And I think just with kids, it's even more important, just like I was saying, like I'm not an expert on that, but with the pineal gland, but just with how they're developing from that age, it's so important from that young age that everything's sort of still developing, and we don't want to be having any negative impacts like that will have negative, I guess, effects in the long run. So yeah, it is about it, and it's hard with kids as well because getting them to wear colored lenses and things like that, which we'll dive into later. But yeah, it is about trying to be a bit more smarter and with the technology we're using and how we can best sort of get the benefits out of it.
Yeah.
On the other side of that, though, there is actually sort of beneficial blue light, which some people might be like, what? How can you be talking about all this bad blue light, but then now all of a sudden there's sort of good blue light that you can get? So I don't know if you wanted to talk about that. We could talk about that for a little bit if you like.
Yeah.
So basically, the sun, it's like that natural blue light, and it's so good for us to be absorbing it. It's where we get our natural energy from. And it helps regulate, again, our circadian rhythm for during the day, keeping it our moods high, our motivation high, and overall affects our cognitive, function in a positive way. And so then that all relates to, again, once the sun is setting, that's essentially telling our bodies, okay, it's time to wind down, and your body will start naturally getting ready to wind down and fall asleep. And so basically, even some artificial blue light, if I guess managed properly or managed well, using glasses and things like that, it's still beneficial during the day for us because we sort of need that sort of energy that it provides. So not all blue light is bad. It is definitely scenario or situation dependent. It is just more of that basic rule. Once the sun is set, you want to be avoiding blue light as much as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, during the day, we want that blue light. We want those certain blue lights because 100%. The sun is out, right? And we should be outside, and so many of us go inside. We have jobs inside, and we're under artificial light, right? That doesn't have the same type of light that the sun does. So being outside...
No, so the sun has that therapeutic, natural blue light that, we absorb, and it basically helps us function as humans. Yeah. So that's why, if you work in an office and you're inside, it's so, it sounds weird, but it's so good just to get outside, even if you can, on breaks, go for walks, absorb. And even if it's a cloudy day, you're still getting that natural blue light. So it's good to like sort of, just get outside as much as you can, like, during the day.
Yep, for sure. And then at nighttime, when the sun's going down, then that's when we want to reduce the blue light and really get that melatonin going. So that's basically
Correct.
the whole circadian rhythm, right? It's our bodies are very smart, and we live one with nature, or we should be trying to mimic that as close as we can, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I was going to talk a little bit about like, a lot of people that I treat, they have sleep issues, right? They have sleep apnea, they have insomnia, and a lot of times we do sleep tests and they maybe don't even have sleep apnea, right? Like we've ruled out some of the medical conditions that could cause some of the symptoms that they're having, like being so tired or having headaches, migraines, those types of things. And I think it's very interesting when I started learning about blue light, because the indoor lights that we have, like the LED lights, and you can speak more to this, but the lights that we are under, they actually are like flickering, right? Like a little bit. And you don't always notice the flickering, right? It's kind of like subconscious.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's almost invisible to our eyes. If you get really bad like fluorescent lighting, you can actually visibly like see it, and that's when you're like, wow, like, okay, this is horrible lighting. But even just like a standard normal, just like a standard bulb, like you won't actually see it, but like it is quite like, there is like, I think you'll see it when you record it on your phone, right? Like you'll record it and it's just like flickering, and you're just like, well, I can't actually see that with my eyes, but that's what my brain is like processing.
Yeah. So if we're sitting under that flickering and it's like all day long, right? We're sitting inside and we're under this light, and then we go home from our job and then we're cooking dinner in our kitchen with the lights on, and there's that flickering, like what does that do to like our nervous system and our brain? And, it's like, it seems like it would be very, very irritating.
100%. Like, and that constant flickering, if you're like exposed to it, like right up in the evening and all that, like your brain is just going to be constantly stimulated, right? Like it's just, it's had no chance to sort of start to release that melatonin and help your body start to wind down. Like if you're exposed to it right till you go to sleep and then you just jump in bed, that's why you'll find people that are like, I can't sleep, they're just like wide awake in bed, like with their eyes like, wide open, because their brain's just wired from the constant just like flickering of being exposed to that constant flickering of lights. And the brain just isn't ready to like, it just hasn't rested or hasn't had a chance to like rest and get ready to like, for the body to fall asleep. So
and I know like, when I don't get a good night's sleep, the next day I feel like hungover. Like I have a headache. I'm
100%. You feel
wrecked.
Drowsy, and
I'm
just
drowsy.
Like no motivation. Like,
it's horrible, So so I feel like a lot of people, they're so stimulated during the day because of the blue light and the flickering lights and all that, and then they go home and then they watch a show, and then right before bed, and they've got this bright blue or white light coming out of their monitor, and then they're like, well, I can't sleep. And so then, and people go to crazy lengths to try to fix their sleep, right? They end up having, going on medication, sleeping pills, seeing all these doctors doing sleep tests, a lot of different products out there for sleep, herbs, supplements, vitamins, all these things, right? So, and it's like kind of so simple, right? Because
it is, but like you don't think about it, that it's just the light. Like, that's like sort of, it's almost so obvious that it's in plain sight.
Just by light bulbs, like who would have thought, right? That light bulbs were going to be such a problem for us. So, so I feel like it's kind of one of the basic things. Like now, I really recommend your glasses to every patient that comes in that has sleep issues, because it's like, well, it's not going to hurt anything. It's relatively cheap to buy a pair of glasses. And for me personally, they've made such a big difference. In fact, I can feel like when I put the glasses on, I don't want to take them off. And it's funny because you were saying how kids don't like to have them on. But my toddler, she's about almost 3, but we've been using your glasses for about 6 months now. And she loves them. Like she asks for them. She's like, Mommy, I need my glasses. And so
have you done like any sort of like, was it like initially like she liked them from the start?
She liked them from the start. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I had a pair. So I wore mine a few days first so she could see me. And then I was like, do you want me to get you your own pair? And then she was like, yes. And so, and then we went on a walk one night, like around sunset. And I gave her the glasses and I was like, look at the sky. Isn't it so cool? And so she kind of got to like experience that. But she she really loves her glasses. And
Oh, that's awesome.
and I feel like, before, like we would do a little bit of screen before bed, maybe like 20 minutes of a little show just to kind of like wind down. And I always felt guilty about doing that. I was like, I know she shouldn't be in front of a screen. Like, this is so bad.
Yeah.
We did all the sleep training. She sleeps in a totally dark room and the blackout curtain and she even sleeps in a blackout tent still. She's almost 3. I mean, like, I'm very aware of sleep hygiene, right, with kids and their circadian rhythm and stuff. But like the screen was so hard because it's like you said, they're everywhere. It's like, even my husband wants to watch a show before bed, and it's like, it's just kind of part of the unwind process, like in our society for a lot of people.
100%.
Right?
100%. And you don't want to, like, you still want to enjoy life and enjoy doing the things you want to do, right? Like, you want to watch your favorite show, or, you want to do all these, like, things that involve, like, technology. We don't want to just fully turn into hermits and not do anything,
yes.
right?
Like I'm not gonna
life.
watch Netflix at 1 p.m. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, my life is so busy and full, and it's like, by the time I'm done and I'm winding down, I'm like, okay, now I can watch a show, But it's not let me wake up first thing in the morning and watch my Netflix. Like, that would be crazy. Yeah. So, you still want to, like, be in, be able to do your life. And so what I found with the glasses with my toddler was that I felt so guilty about, her watching shows before. And even when I would watch shows, like, I'd be like way down on the, the brightness. And even then it was like, oh, that's so bright. And, but with the glasses on, it's funny because as soon as I put them on, I feel sleepy. Yeah. Like, I can't even get through a show now. It's so funny. I'll put them on and then like literally 15 minutes later, I'm just like out.
You're just like, I'm ready to go.
Yes. And my daughter is like, she's kind of the same. Like, she will be like watching her show and she's just very chill and relaxed with the glasses on. And then the show ends and it's like, okay, it's time to go to bed. And then it's like, okay, that's fine. And before it'd be like, okay, we're taking your screen away. And she'd be like, no, like, I need that screen, like I want to watch another one. Like, I need that screen. Like, and it was a lot more crying before bedtime. And I feel like with the glasses, it's made the bedtime transition much smoother, and so much that we actually bring them on vacation with us. Like, we were just camping for a week this last week, and I packed our blue blocker glasses because they're so great. So
and it's a win-win, right? Because like if you're getting, like, if how you said it made the transition easier for her to go to sleep, like if she's already enjoying wearing the glasses, then like she's wearing them watching her shows, then like her body's just naturally getting ready for sleep anyway. So then when you're like, oh, it's ready to go to bed, she's like, oh yeah, like actually, you know what, I am tired. So yeah. No, that's awesome.
We're in like Seattle area. So in the summers we have very long days and the sun doesn't really set till like 9 or even later than that. And then in the winter, I mean, by 4:30, 5 p.m. it's dark. So how do you, like, I don't want to be, I naturally in the winter, I'm like 7:30 rolls around. I'm like, I think I could be ready for bed, right? And I feel guilty about being like, oh, let's just cozy up at 7:30 p.m. But I guess, how do you like, what's your guys' perspective on that? Because like, obviously we're not living at the equator. You're going to have short days, long days. Are our bodies supposed to be, are we supposed to be sleeping more in the winter and being up more in the summer? Like,
I guess it's sort of naturally like, I mean, I'm not I'm no like expert in that regard, but I think it's just it speaks sort of naturally to like in winter when we do have those longer days, like as humans, like we probably are naturally more just meant to be a bit more like, like rested and all that kind of stuff. How you say like inside a bit more. And then like during the summer, obviously when there's like a lot more sun and energy, that's when we're like more like vibrant and energetic and things like that. But like, for times when like the sun like sets earlier, like how we have like the different lighting and things like that, we actually have lighting that has full spectrum lighting as well as sort of a 3-mode light that's got like full spectrum and mixed mode and it's like a amp and night mode. But like in saying that, I wouldn't recommend like if it was, how you're saying like a short day, sun sets at like sort of 5:30. I then wouldn't recommend like going inside and like having full spectrum lighting on to like try and extend the day slightly longer. I just feel like you sort of just let your body naturally go with like sort of how it's feeling. I would still sort of operate the same all year round, like just trying to like, get, cut out artificial blue light once the sun is set. And then like, make the most of it whilst the sun is out. And I guess it also depends on like your own like personal routine, like what job you're doing, like all that kind of stuff, like how your family works and all that kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
But there is no like set sort of like rule, I guess. There's no set like template or like law that you have to follow. It's just about like we're providing like the tools to sort of like, here's the tools that you can use to sort of work around these things.
Well, I like I said, I've just been wearing your glasses for a couple months now, and so I'll let you know in the winter what happens. I mean, I feel sleepy already earlier, I think, because just the darkness. But it'll be interesting just now that I have your glasses, kind of what I find works the best, and I think that's the cool thing too about these glasses, that you get to play with them, right? You get to wear them. They're removable. They're not, we're not changing. Like, nothing is permanent. So you get to really play with them and see like what works the best. I also am really excited to take them on an international trip when there's like change in time zone, because I've also heard that really helps. Like if you put them on when it's supposed to be nighttime at your new location, then it helps you get over jet lag faster.
100%.
Have you heard that?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Don't worry, that's not a myth. That's legit.
It's like, if that works, this is like amazing magic trick. So, okay. So, and I also, for my daughter, because of the flickering lights, when I learned about the lights flickering, like I had to put different lighting in my house because I didn't want the flickering constantly. And then I also didn't want the blue light at nighttime. So actually in my daughter's bedroom, I bought one of your guys' light bulbs, and that thing is bright. It is like, I mean, it's like very yellow and orangey,
the Sweet Dreams one?
Yeah, the Sweet Dreams one.
Yeah.
But
So that's, So that's like, so that light's 100% blue light free. There's small amounts of green light in it, but it's 100% blue light free.
Yeah. So that's cool.
That emits like a warm, warm amber, but it is quite bright. And like we say that, it is suitable for like general, because people always ask like, oh, is it bright enough to be able to like, if I'm in the kitchen cooking or doing things, like it's a sort of suitable for sort of generic lighting all throughout the house. Yeah. So it is definitely a good one to have on in the evening. Yeah. No, that's been really cool. So I love that you guys have those products. So can we talk a little bit about your products? Because when I first went to your website, I was 100%. A little bit overwhelmed because I was like, oh my gosh, where do I start? And then I also was like, these glasses are more expensive than other blue light glasses. So what makes them so cool or better? Yeah, so maybe talk about that. We can, no worries at all. Yes. Excuse me. I'm sort of just getting over a cold for the last week. But like how we're saying, like, there's so many different like glasses out there on the market. It can be like you said, like quite overwhelming and like very confusing into like, what do I need? What should I buy? What's good? Like what's not good? So like we've actually found, and I guess, Dan, while growing the company, he would test other like competitors and things like that. So he found that like a lot of glasses that you would buy, like just cheap ones on Amazon or anything like that, like they just had a very basic like blue light coating just put over top of the lens. And it was only like sort of filtering anywhere from like sort of 5 to 15% of blue light, which just, it's not doing anything, right? Like that's not doing anything for you. So like, he just found like no like sort of actual research had gone or like science had gone into like the development of like these sort of different like glasses. And so what he did was like how we're saying, he did like a lot of research, and he basically just found out like what wavelengths of blue light need to be like filtered or blocked, and essentially just like went from there. So I can sort of speak through the different like lenses that we have. So like at the moment I'm wearing like a pair of our screen, like what we call our screen time clear lens. So this lens filters 50% of blue light across the whole blue light spectrum. But like more importantly, it's filtering 50% at 455 nanometers, which research shows is like the most harmful like sort of wavelengths for artificial blue light. And so unless like the blue light glasses are like filtering the specific wavelengths, like they're basically not any good, or they're not really going to do, like they're not going to help you in any way. And so these clear lenses filter 50% across the whole like wavelengths, but specifically like at that wavelength as well. So that's like cutting out that really harmful artificial blue light. And so these are suitable for during the daytime. we wouldn't really recommend them wearing them at night, because at nighttime you want to be blocking 100% of blue light, and these are just sort of filtering the blue light. So they're still allowing through some amounts of blue light, because like we said, during the day you still need to have those energy levels up, feeling motivated, and your cognitive function and all that kind of stuff. So you still need some blue light passing through your eyes like during the day. So that's these ones. The next.
Now I have a question. I have a question about that.
Sorry,
so
absolutely.
I actually wear these. I wear these every day during the day too. And what I've noticed is that some people will be like, "Oh, well, I have a pair of blue blockers too." And when you put their glasses on versus those ones, your guys's are it's so much more yellow when you look through it. That I've noticed. It blocks it blocks way more blue light than even other people's. They'll be like, "Oh, my glasses have blue blocker, technology," and I put those on, and it does not look yellow. And the other thing that's cool about these is that they don't look like, they look like just regular glasses, right? So you can wear them when you're in meetings or on a screen, and people aren't like, "Oh, what are those weird glasses that you're wearing?" Because when you get into the other ones, you're like, "Oh, those are fun glasses." And
100%.
then can you talk a little bit about, a lot of like my husband, for example, I did buy him a pair, and sometimes he wears them, but he's like, "Well, I just have the thing on my screen, that like blocks the blue light." So can you talk a little bit about that? Because I feel like a lot of people just feel like they're good because their iPhone has the, the night filter on it.
The night mode, which essentially like it is helping. And like laptops and TVs, you can dim the blue light, and all that, but it's not getting rid of like 100% of the blue light, which essentially is what you want to do in the evening as well. And wearing the glasses as well as having like sort of screen, the night mode on your iPhone on, like, it's one of those things where like more protection is better. Using the glasses as well as having that, like the night mode on, that will be perfect. Using just the night mode on, like, it's probably dimming some of the blue light, but it's not actually blocking the blue light, which at night you need to like fully block it out. Mm-hmm. So it's like probably one of those ones where like it's good, and it will be doing some like sort of benefits. But if you really want to be like blocking all out all of that blue light out, then like the glasses is definitely your best bet.
Yes.
Okay. Because we even sell like screen filter, screen protectors for iPhone, and like they filter. It's the same.
Oh, cool.
They use the same as like our screen time lens. Like, they filter it by 50%. But even people that use those, we'd still say at night to use glasses as well, because it's not blocking 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So, okay, so those are the clear ones. So if you go onto their website, those look like the clear ones. And then the next ones.
So the next ones are actually called, I've got a pair here. They're like our Daymax yellow lens. So these ones are actually like, I don't know if you can see through there, but they're actually like, they are very yellow.
Yeah.
And so these ones filter 75%. Hold on, let me just double check that. 70%, sorry, across the whole blue light spectrum. Excuse me. So there's one little confusing, but that's kind of, I find difficult. Not difficult, but it can be a bit confusing to explain to people. So it does 70% across the whole blue light spectrum, right? But it actually blocks 100% of that 455 nanometer wavelength we were talking about before, of that specific wavelength. So across the whole blue light spectrum, it filters 70%. But when you zoom into that one specific wavelength, it's actually covering like 100% blocking of that specific wavelength. So these are like our sort of best daytime protection like lens that you can get.
So you would wear those inside.
You would wear these
under
inside
light,
under harsh artificial lighting, correct? And we even say that, like, because some people say, we have 4 different lens options available. People are like, I can't afford 2 pairs right now. Fully understand that. This Daymax lens is actually can be worn if you're wanting one pair, just one pair fits all kind of thing. At night, it doesn't block the blue light like we say, but essentially like wearing these would be better than wearing nothing.
Right.
How they filter 70% and then 100% of that specific wavelength. But I still would say to people, if you were going to get one pair, to just focus on the nighttime pair, because that's actually the most crucial time where you want to be blocking the blue light. And during the day, unless you were like exposed to like 5 different screens and under like the worst lighting, I would say like during the day, you would just be fine without glasses until like you could maybe like save up and then like buy another pair or something like that.
Yeah.
But essentially the Daymax is like sort of the it's the best the day lens we have, but and like also you can wear them at night if you just sort of have like one pair and you're wanting to work with one pair.
Yep.
The only thing with these is like, there is like when you first put them on, you'll put them on, you'll be like, whoa, like everything is like appears like
so
quite
bright.
yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's essentially like it's not affecting your vision in a bad way. It's just like it's getting rid of that harmful like artificial blue light, and your eyes actually sort of naturally adjust to it anyway, and then you start to see like sort of colors through it.
Yeah, it's impressive to me how, because I have one of every one of your glasses because I wanted to try them out.
Awesome.
But the yellow ones, I thought, oh, there's no way I'll be able to like see color. Like these are just going to be so yellow, and I actually can totally work with them wearing them because I can see the colors, even though it's very yellow. I can tell the difference and everything. And it was easier to get used to than I thought.
Yeah.
The only thing with the
100%.
yellow ones is that you're wearing yellow glasses. So
yes.
So if you're like, if you're on like a bunch of meetings or like you're in front of, like for me sometimes like I'm in front of patients, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to be wearing my bright yellow glasses, when I first meeting somebody. So I usually wear the clear ones during the day, but the yellow ones are cool. And I'm glad that you talked about that, how it does block 100% of the more bad type of blue light. That's great. That's great to know.
Yeah. And then, so then moving on, so then we've got our two, I unfortunately don't have any of them with me, but so our first evening lens is like called the Sundown Amber. And so that is essentially quite like a ambery, like orange lens. We only recommend wearing our evening lenses at nighttime because they block 100% of blue light, right? So you don't want to be wearing them during the day because that's just going to sort of disrupt your circadian rhythm, will make you sleepy, 100%. So the Sundown Amber blocks 100% of blue light. And this is sort of our most popular lens that I recommend to people to wear at night if they're first starting out or they're first asking what lens can I wear at night to help. The Sundown Amber is a really good option. Blocks 100% of blue light, and it still actually has some color perception there because some people are like, oh, I want to watch TV, but your red lenses or like these lenses are like they're not working for me. The amber option is like a really good option because it still allows for some color perception, and it's blocking 100% of blue light, which is like what you want at night. Excuse me. And then we move on to our top of the line like sort of evening lens, the Nightfall Red. This blocks 100% of blue and green light between like from 400 nanometers to 550. Sorry. There is like some research that says like some green light can not disrupt your circadian rhythm, but like have a small impact on like melatonin like production. Not heavy enough that we would like say you need to wear Nightfall Red all the time. It's sort of just for people that really struggle to get to sleep or like have really bad insomnia and things like that. Blocking 100% of blue and green is sort of really good for them to like just sort of nail it down for their brains and their body to just like prepare for sleep. Whereas like I'm not too sure what if you've tried the Nightfall Red, but they are quite intense.
They are, but I feel like they're not that different from the amber ones.
From the Sundown Amber, yeah. And obviously, like it can be different for different people, right? Like various people's eyes are different. Everyone's different. Can have a different like
the
experience.
The amber ones are definitely better. Like if you're watching a show or something, and you're, if you want more of that color, but. I haven't noticed like it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is so much worse than the other ones,
What I tell people, or because people are like, oh no, I want to get like both the amber and the red, like, I want to go hard out like that. And that's fine. Like what I say to people is like the amber's really good just for using from basically once the sun is set up to like sort of the last hour and a half before you go to bed. And so you just use them for like your cooking or like your activities, whatever you're doing, the amber. And then like sort of that last 90 minutes before you go to bed, transition over to the red ones just to like sort of cement in that like it's time, it's ready to go to sleep, my brain, and it will just sort of ramp it up for your brain, like blocking out that 100% of blue and green light for that last 90 minutes would really like just, you
probably if you were traveling and doing jet lag, you'd probably want to use the red ones because you'd be like, I really want to get on track, right?
100%.
My toddler definitely prefers the amber ones because I think when she watches her little show before bed, she wants to see the colors more. So
yes,
and that's been fine for her. I've seen changes.
We get a lot
of
feedback about the red ones that the kids aren't big fans of the red ones. It's just like, oh, everything's red and scary. I'm not too sure. It's not the same for everyone, but That's certainly surprising to hear that your daughter really enjoys the amber ones, because I don't know why. Maybe it's just where we are. A lot of parents struggle, or say that they struggle to get their kids to use like the colored lenses.
Well,
Not too sure if that's just
I think if the parents, like I said with my daughter, I got a pair first.
Yeah, so it's probably about the different
she
tactics
was
that you
like,
use,
"Oh,
right?
I want that," and I was like, "Oh no, these are mommy's. Like, you can't have these." And it was like, "Oh, but I want that." And it was like, "Okay, I'll let you wear
So it's
them,
almost
but
like that. Yeah, like
I'll let
not
you wear
leading by,
these, but they're really
almost
special
leading
to
by
mommy."
example, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
don't
Oh,
mess
that's
them up.
awesome.
And then
And then
she'd
I guess
wear
she wants to
them.
copy you, right? So
Yeah, and also with her, I'm just like, look, you can only watch a show unless you have your glasses on. So like, if she takes them off, I turn the show off, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, like you just don't get the show then. And then it's like,
yeah,
oh, that's fine. I'll put the glasses on. So I don't know. I guess I've just trained her.
it works, right? So
It does, yeah. I think
yeah, no, awesome.
you got to be the parent too and be like, all right, I'm helping you here. So you might not like it at the beginning, but this is what we're going to do. And I swear, like after we just did it for a couple days, it was just like I said, she's just asking, Mommy, I need to brush my teeth and I need to brush my teeth and put my glasses on. And then I'll watch my show. Like, yes, you're right.
Awesome. That's awesome.
You're right. So yeah, no, I've been impressed with your products, and my husband's like, oh my gosh, would you like wake up so you can watch the show? And I'm like, sorry, but sleep is so good. So, I'm like, I'm not apologizing for my sleeping better. So,
and you really shouldn't underestimate like the power of like a really good night's sleep, because it is sort of like down to the core of like our health. It has such a flow-on effect. Like if we're having bad sleep to like the next day, and like so on and so on and so on. Because once you have a bad night's sleep, it's actually really hard to catch up.
Yeah.
And make it up, right? And get back to feeling normal. So super important.
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely feel that. Like I said, when I don't sleep well, I feel like I'm hungover, like headache, and just like want to be in bed, like So that's so great. So you guys have adult sizes of glasses.
Yeah, adults, kids sizes.
You don't have men's and women's, right? You just have like the adults
it's
ones?
Sort of, we just have adults ones, unisex ones, and we have like photos of males and females of the different styles.
Okay.
But they're both suitable to be worn by men and women. Obviously, we have some styles that's like smaller or larger than others. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. Yeah, we find a lot of people will find something that they like on there. We don't really get many people being like, oh, I didn't find a style that I liked.
Yeah, there's some cute styles. And then I wanted to talk, do you guys have you heard of any kids that have a hard time paying attention, or like hyperactive kids with school wearing your glasses like during the day and then their attention improving? Or I'm just kind of curious if, because of all of the, the flashing blue and being under those lights, if that would help, especially kids be able to focus a little bit better.
I personally haven't sort of dived too much into that, but whilst I was sort of doing research for this podcast, I did actually come across some stuff for that, and it was actually talking about blue light glasses with the kids with autism, mm-hmm. ADHD, hyperactive and things like that, and it actually did talk about it helping them feeling calm and being able to focus on what they were doing during school, mm-hmm. At home. And we actually got approached recently about someone that does a podcast about helping parents that have kids with autism, and what are some different things or techniques or different products that they can use to to help them there. So definitely something, there is 100% definitely something there, and there would definitely be some sort of link between the two. Yeah,
it'd be so interesting to see a study on that. Mm. My stepson has ADHD and he likes the glasses also. Awesome. Everybody in my house likes the glasses. I don't know. It's been easy for us. But and he told me he tried them one night with a screen. He's like, I feel really relaxed with these on, which is great because he's so fidgety all the time. So I was like, yay. And then I was thinking, oh my gosh, I should send you to school with these glasses, see if that makes a difference for your teachers.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll try it and I'll keep you posted. So, so I'm just if people are listening to this and they want to, hang on, before we talk about that. So when you guys, I've seen a couple of other brands out there that are talking about how they test the wavelengths of light coming through, and they have a little mm-hmm. machine that does that. Yep. So can you talk a little bit about that before we
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So how we were saying before, like, yeah, there's so many different like glasses out there. You're not too sure what's right. Like, so Dan hasn't just said that, hey, I've done this research and this is what they are. We use like what they use is called a spectrometer. So that measures sort of wavelengths of light. And so all of our lenses have been tested using like a spectrometer. So you can actually test when you hold like some glasses up to like some light, and then you can test it with a spectrometer showing like what's actually coming out, So essentially they're all been
they're all tested.
All been tested.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. And if you buy a cheap pair off of Amazon and they're not tested, you can't judge them. You can't judge blue light glasses because they're not all the same.
No, and unfortunately there is just like a lot of companies out there that are selling them, so it's just trying to find like the right one. Like we're not saying you can only, like everyone should only buy from us. Like we're just saying just be a bit smart, or just look into like the glasses you're buying and actually get like some information about what wavelengths they're filtering or what they're blocking, and actually see if it's like, if it's actually going to be doing anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So takeaways, if you're working under artificial light during the day, you should be wearing blue blocker glasses, at least the clear ones that cut out 50% of the blue light. And if you want to be even better, then the yellow ones, which are going to cut out 70% or 100% of that bad blue light. Mm-hmm. In the morning, go outside. That helps your circadian rhythm. Wake
whenever
up.
You can. Like we all have different routines, right? So if it's better for you to do it first thing in the morning, do it first thing in the morning. If you can do it during the day,
get outside as much as you can, even if it's overcast, even if it's not amazing. Just get outside in the light. And then when sunset happens, we want to be reducing the blue light. So maybe switch some of your bulbs out to those blue blocker bulbs, which they have, which I've done, which is great. Also put on your amber glasses or your red glasses if you want to be really hardcore.
Yeah. And we've even got like sort of, I'm not too sure if you've seen our red light bulbs we have. Like we don't tell people to have like the red bulbs as their main light, but they're really good to have in like bedside lamps.
Yes, I have red lights in my bedside. Yep, and they're great.
And I love them at night. Like they're actually like, they're, as well as the glasses, like for me, like the lighting, if I can have like an amber or the red light, it's actually so calming and so relaxing.
Yes, I have red in my bedroom, like on my table lamps. Mm-hmm. It's so great. I love that red light. It just feels very soothing, when you walk
Or even
in.
if you have to get up during the night, like you know, when you just hit like, you used to like turn on the light and you'd be like, oh, like back in the day, but now that light, you literally turn on and your body just doesn't react at all. It's just like, oh, yes, I can, carry on, don't feel disrupted.
Yes, I switched to the red bulbs when I had my daughter because, she was sleeping in the room with us, and then she would wake up and I'd have to breastfeed her, and it was like, I didn't want to turn the light on, and then it was like, and then I had so many issues falling back asleep, so.
Exactly, yeah. The lighting is really, really good as well.
It's a good hack.
If people are keen.
It's a good hack for moms that are up at night with their kids, or dads that are up at night with their kids. Like, even if you have to go downstairs and make a bottle in the middle of the night, like put on your glasses, put on your red glasses to go do that right at 3 a.m. because you're not, your circadian rhythm is going to be staying in check instead of going, oh, I'm waking up now because it's all this blue stimulating light.
And we've even got cool like little portable lighting options as well. Like, it doesn't have to be like a bulb. We've got like lamps, little beacon lights. So like, there's heaps of different options and solutions for people. So
Awesome. So go to the website. So what's the website, Sam?
So for people in the US, it would be blockbluelight.com. So www.blockbluelight.com. And when you first go there, like you can unlock like a first time order discount. And I believe we're actually going to get you to sign up as an affiliate.
Yes, I did sign up.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm waiting for we're waiting for our approval. But yes, if you're listening, this podcast, we're not going to release it tomorrow. So by the time this podcast comes out, we should have an affiliate link, and I will add that at the end of the podcast. So if you want to go to their website and you want to check out their glasses, you'll have that link. And then are you guys on social media? Do you have...
Yeah. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Yeah, just Block Blue Light and we'll pop up. Yeah, drop us a follow. We'd really, really appreciate it. And of course, like we've got a really friendly customer service team that we're available sort of most like pretty much almost 24/7 now, basically. The team's growing too, which is awesome. So yeah, feel free. Any questions at all, get in touch. One of us will be happy to help.
Yeah, you guys have been great. Super, super responsive. So like I said, I just have good things to say about your company and your products. So awesome.
Thank you so much.
Sam, thanks so much for joining us. And, like I said, I treat so many patients that have sleep issues, and being a more biological, whole body, health type of dentist, I'm always looking for products and just hacks that people can bring into their lifestyle that make their life better. So, I'm just thrilled with your guys' products. So thank you so much. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Your Mouth Matters.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks for having me on board. It's been awesome chatting to you. And I hope people that listen to this, it changes their life. So awesome. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in to Your Mouth Matters. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to leave a review. It helps more people find the show and join us on this journey towards whole body health, starting with the mouth. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you found this helpful, share it with a friend or two, especially the ones who nerd out on wellness as much as we do. You can also follow us on social media at Green City Dental and O2 Dontics for updates, resources, and behind-the-scenes conversations. Until next time, breathe well, smile often, and remember, your mouth really does matter.